let's look at a program to check if a year is leap year or not. So what are leap years? Leap years are those years which have got 366 days, and normal years or non-leap years are the ones that have got 365 days. Now, when do you find out if a year is leap year or not? We know all years that are divisible by 4 is definitely a leap year. Now, there are some years like 1800, 1900, 2100, 2200. These are divisible by 4 and these are century years. But these are not leap years. Now, this is where the problem occurs. These are divisible by 4, these are divisible by 100, but they are not leap years. Whereas a year like 2000 is divisible by 4 and 100 and it is a leap year. It's a century year, it is a leap year. So the problem comes in these years. How do you identify is these are not divisible by the number 400, whereas this is divisible by 400. So this is a set of conditions. We look at two ways of how to explain the leap year code. This is the set of statements. If a year is divisible by 400 and 400, it is a leap year. So let's do nested if loop because I have to check each condition within another condition. So if a number is year is divisible by 400 and 400, let's take an input of the year variable, and if the year is divisible by 4, meaning modulus 4 is equal to 0, I have to check if it is divisible by 100 also, by 400 also. So I have to check if the year is divisible by 100 is equal to 0, and it should also be divisible by 400. If year divisible by 400 is equal to 0. In this case, yes, it is a leap year. So printf leap year. Now we move on to what if it is divisible by 4 and 100 but not by 400, because I have to write the else condition of this statement. So if year is divisible by 4 and 100 but not by 400, it is a not a leap year or a non-leap year. So go ahead and write the statement else printf non-leap year or not a leap year, or you can write %d is not a leap year and write the year variable also fine. So this condition is over. Close the bracket. Write the condition for the else part if the year is divisible by 4 but not by 100. So if the year is divisible by 4 but not by 100, it is a leap year. That means 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, these are all leap years. So we go ahead and this printf statement will be it is a leap year. Now, if the year is not divisible by 4, so if the year is not divisible by 4, it is a non-leap year. So go ahead and write else printf non-leap year. So this is the logic of finding a year is a leap year or a non-leap year. I know this is a little bit overwhelming. For those who can follow this code, this is fine. If you want to look at another algorithm, you can also go by the opposite way. If a year is divisible by 400, it is a leap year. Leap year. Now let's look at those which is not divisible by 400. So go ahead and write else if, meaning it is not divisible by 400 but it is divisible by 100. Else if the year modulus 100 is equal to 0. This comes when this condition becomes false, you have reached over here. This is the case for the century years. It is definitely not a leap year. So go ahead and printf non-leap year. Now, if the year is not divisible by 400, and imagine if this condition also becomes false. The year is not divisible by 100, but it is divisible by 4. Like 2004, 2008, 2012. So here modulus 4 equal to 0. Those years are leap years. So printf, it is a leap year. And else, if the modulus 4 becomes false, if the modulus 100 becomes false, if the modulus 4 also becomes false, it has nothing to do with a leap year. So definitely those years will be non-leap year. So it's going to be a non-leap year. So this is another logic for writing leap year and non-leap year for those who find the above code a little bit overwhelming. I will execute both of these in the code format and you can see. So let's take a look at the code of the leap year program. I've written the basic statement for declaration of the year, asking the user to enter the year, taking an input from the keyboard, and I've written the conditions here on top in the form of comment statement. So let us write the code for the program. First, I have to check if the year is divisible by 400 and 400, then it is a leap year. So I have to check for all three conditions. If year modulus 4 is equal to 0, in that case, I have to check one more condition. If year mod 100 is equal to 0, if that is true, I have to check for one more condition. If year mod 400 equal to 0. In all these three conditions satisfy, then the year is a leap year. So you can directly go ahead and just printf leap year, or you can write %d is a leap year, and you can put the value of year. Got it? Now comes to the else part, that meaning it is divisible by 4 and 100 but not by 400. So we come to the condition here. If the year is divisible by 4 and 100 but not divisible by 400, then it is not a leap year. Meaning here in the else part, we are going to print f /n %d is not a leap year. And you can print the year variable. Now this if else part is over. Coming to the next if else part. This is if it is divisible by 4 but not by 100. So if a year is divisible by 4 but not by 100, then it is a leap year. So the else part is going to be printf /n %d is a leap year and put the value year. Got it? Now coming to the last part, if the year is not divisible by 4. If the year is not divisible by 4, then it is not a leap year. So I'll put the else condition over here and printf /n %d is not a leap year. And we'll print year. Okay, let's check. So all the years which are divisible by 4 is going to be a leap year. Let's say 2004. Yes, it is a leap year. Now let's check 2000. Yes, it is a leap year. Now we need to check for those years which are divisible. These are all divisible by 4. The other one, 2004, is divisible by 4. 2000 was divisible by 400 as well as 400. Now those years which are divisible by 4 and 100 but not by 400, like those century years except 2000. So let's run for 1800 is going to be not a leap year. If you run for 2100, it is still not a leap year. These are divisible by 4 and 100 but not by 400. Then let's run the program for 2200 is also not a leap year. Now let's look at those which are divisible by 4 but not by 100 was the perfect example of 2004. It is a leap year. Now those years which are not at all divisible by 4 will be probably like 2003. It is not a leap year. I have made a spelling mistake over here. Is not a leap year. Let's run the program once again. 2003 is not a leap year. There's one more way to explain the leap year program. So we know this program applies to only those century years because they are not divisible by 400, but they are divisible by 4 as well as 100. So you could remove this nested loop and just write it in the form of an else if ladder very easily. You could write if the year is divisible by 400 is equal to 0, then yes, it is a leap year. So /n %d is a leap year and put the year variable. Now let's check if this condition fails. It is not divisible by 400 but is divisible by 100. So I'll put it as an else if year modulus 100 is equal to 0. This is those which are not divisible by 400 but are divisible by 100. These years are those century years we have to be careful of. So these will not be divisible by, this will not be a leap year. So it is not a leap year and print the year. Now I am going for a condition which is not divisible by 400, not divisible by 100 but only by 4. So you can write else if year modulus 4 is equal to 0. These are leap years. So printf /n %d is a leap year. Print the variable year, close the bracket. Now comes the condition where the years are not even divisible by 4 also. So it's just an else statement where you printf /n %d is not a leap year. Print the year variable and close it. I'll segregate so that it will be easy for you to understand it. Yeah. So this is another way. We'll run the program once again and look. Let's check for which are not divisible by 4. We'll check from the bottom. So 2003 is not a leap year. Check for those divisible by 4 only. So it is 2004 is a leap year. Then for the condition of the special century years like 1800, it is not a leap year. We'll try for 2100, not a leap year. Then comes the years which are divisible by 400 and 400. That is the first case. You can check for a year 2000. Yes, it is a leap year. Thank you.